how I started at the bottom at 14 years old, literally just working a minimum job. I was working a minimum job as a waiter at a place called Honeycomb. It's in UK. It's like a business. It's called Honeycomb, and I went from that in order to now building a life that I actually can enjoy and just recording these YouTube videos on the side. So literally the first step you got to do is you got to have a goal in mind. So you first got to actually have a goal of what do you want to do in your life. If you have a goal, you can have a plan. If you have a plan, you can execute that plan. So that's the first step to do is to actually write down your plan. Actually think about where you want to see yourself in the next 2 years. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? If you don't have a plan or a goal, it's okay, but you can try to write down things that you like and what you would do in order to achieve them. So for example, if your goal is to have, let's say, £10,000 at the end of the year, or $10,000 at the end of the year, start now. Start small. Start at looking what you can sell, what services you can provide to different types of people. So that's what I did. So when I was 14, I was working at Honeycomb, and I was literally just being a waiter, washing the dishes in the back, and I was doing things like that, like also like shoveling the snow at the front, because sometimes in the UK it gets very cold and we have snow, so I'd be like shoveling the snow in the front. And then from there I was on minimum wage, and from that job I then started applying online. Whilst I already had a job, I was applying online other jobs as like video creating jobs for like bigger companies. So a lot of companies in the UK, especially brands or a lot of these food businesses or shisha lounges or these kinds of businesses, they need people to edit videos for their social media. So at the time it was Facebook. Obviously I know now like Instagram and stuff was more popular, but at the time it was Facebook. So I would literally just edit videos for these companies, and they would pay me about like $10 to about $15 per edit. So I used to just sit there, and this was on my old, I think it was my Samsung Galaxy 7 Edge or Samsung Galaxy 6. I'd sit there, get the footage, go onto my computer, edit the footage for them, upload it to their Facebook pages, and then pay me money for that. Once I started getting enough money from that, I then bought a lawnmower. Once I got the lawnmower, I then started cutting grass in people's houses, cutting grass, washing cars, these kinds of things. And once I started to have these skills, with the money I spent, obviously at the time I was in a relationship, so I did spend money on that and spend money with my friends, money on smoking and drinking and things like that, which is fun. But also not just that, I looked at how do I grow my money and how do I get other people. So then I started to get my friends. So then me and my friends, we used to go to parks, especially in the summertime. We used to go to like, I don't know if you, it's like an Asda, like a Walmart, and we used to buy like the box of ice creams. So you get like a box of ice lollies, and you used to get like, it was like 10 or 9, and it was about £2 for 9 in the box, you know, like the family size ones. We'd put it into a cooler, like a freezer cooler with ice. We'd go to the park, and then we'd sell each one individually at like £1, £2 for like to parents and people in the park. And we used to sell that to different types of people in the park to make money there. Once I started making money from that, I then went on to selling trainers. So especially at the time, it was Huaraches, there was like Adidas Fluxes, these kinds of trainers, some Jordans. I think it was like Jordan OVOs by Drake. Those were very popular, very sold out. So we're getting some of those, and just different types of trainer designs, especially the Jordans, Nike, Adidas, some of the Reebok classics as well. But we used to sell those more to girls. Girls used to buy that more than guys. But like I said, so selling trainers, putting photos on trainers on Instagram pages, customizing trainers as well, like doing custom patterns, custom work on trainers. From there, I then was able to get enough money to then travel by myself and actually travel to Africa. So I went to Africa, I saw different businesses there and how people work there. From that, I then went to travel to Belgium and France. And, you know, I just started to travel and actually go to experience and meet new people and connect with different people. I meet different people who had different like skills that maybe I myself do not have, but other people have those skills. So as you build a network of different people with different skills, you can then leverage those skills or help them make money, and then they can help you make money. It's more of a scratch my back, I scratch your back. Like even one of my friends, Keelan, he's doing music videos at the moment, and he's really blowing on it. Like he's doing different rappers in the UK, he's making visuals, he's doing music videos, he's doing DJing. So there's always ways. If you have a network of people, you have friends who also want to do business or also have different skills, there's always ways that you can, you know, get those skills together. For example, let's say you have a friend who's a really good bartender and he's good at making drinks, and then you have another friend who's good at making food. You could set up a food stand where you're selling drinks and food at the stand, and you have the friend who knows how to cook and the friend who knows how to bartend. There's like, that's like an example. Do you know what I mean? Or like, let's say you have a friend who's really good at football, another friend who's really good at baseball, and you get them two together and you film baseball content and football content, and you make 2 different pages. That way you're posting videos of baseball and football on 2 different accounts, and then you can monetize that and give them money as an income for the time that they spend doing that. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's always good to like look at your friends, circle of people. I have friends who are doing different things, from selling AirPods to selling phone cases, especially when the iPhone 6 came out and they had that more of a curved iPhone. When, if you look at the iPhone 5 and iPhone 4, they were more like a boxy type of look, and the iPhone 6 was more like a curve kind of, you know what I mean, like the sides, the edge panels are a bit more curved on the iPhone 6s. So we started to get like phone cases, selling phone cases online, phone cases on eBay, Amazon, reposting them, things like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Especially when people wanted a custom case with like lettering, things like that. You can make money selling clothes as well. If you get into clothing and you get into fashion, you make your own brand or you make your own logos, or sometimes you even get custom logos where you get brands and you customize them. Get like a sewing kit or a sewing machine and actually customize and do like individual lettering for like events or for parties or for network or restaurant owners. They always want people to have their own uniforms, these kinds of things. So if you contact local businesses or small businesses who don't actually have their own staff uniform, everyone's just wearing black or everyone's just wearing like white, you can actually contact them about making their logo on custom clothing for them, for their business. So, things like that. It's all about networking and putting yourself out there. Another one that's just really helpful, underrated, is in your city, if you can find rich people and actually take photos of their car and say, look, I'm a street photographer, I'll take photos of your vehicle, and I can send them to you for free. Once you send it to them, you've got their emails. You say, look, like, I really think your car is really cool, bro. I want to take some photos of your car. I'll send them to you. I'll email you the photos in HD for free, bro. And then once you emailed it to them, you've now got their emails of rich people in the city. And now once you've got their emails, you can then contact them directly about, whatever business plan or business offer you might have. And this is what I'm trying to say, where entrepreneurial like mindset, you need to have that entrepreneur mindset. You need to have that mindset of, instead of just working and that's cool, it's also about building a network of different people and different ideas. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, whatever your skill is, whatever type of, environment you have, it's always good to look at what are other people doing, or how is he making money, or how is she making money, and speak to your friends more about money as well. Like if you want to actually build a network, instead of talking about celebrities or talking about nonsense or talking about TV shows or movies, you can actually also talk about, like, literally just say to your friends, okay, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And we can all become successful, because instead of like this whole lone wolf, everyone's got to be lone wolf and you can't trust anybody, that doesn't get you anywhere. That doesn't actually help you. Even in school, when you're doing a test and they say, oh, it's cheating on your test, look at your friend's work, that's cheating on your test. It's all a closed mindset. Business is actually with a lot of people. You need a team, you need a network, you need friends, you need people who you can build trust with, people that you can network with. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So all this like, oh, you got to do everything alone, and this whole Sigma Alpha, yeah, I'm alone, I don't talk to nobody, that's nonsense. That is not helping you. That's never going to actually elevate you as a person. Do you understand? We've only got 24 hours in the day. So if you really want to build your network up and actually earn more income, you need to actually network with other people who have the skills that you might not have, because you can't be good at everything. There's no one who's good at basketball, baseball, football, netball, cutting hair, gardening, good at driving cars, nobody's good at everything. Some people are good at specific things, and if you can help them with that specific tool, or you can help people get clients or get things done for them, that's how you actually make money. That's how you actually advertise money, and how you actually can make and earn more by learning skills that are in demand that people need, because people will always need people to do something. Someone needs something done, and if you can actually apply it, that's how you can make the money. It's the same reason why brain surgeons and all these like plastic surgeons are making a lot of money, especially in Miami, because there's a demand for plastic surgery. There's a demand for women wanting surgeries and wanting breast implants, and women wanting their bodies to look a certain way. And if you can tap into that and study hard for it, you'll make money. So it's the same thing. It's the same with the whole study hard and you'll make money. Studying hard and making money is good. That can take a lot longer. But if you want to make a bit of quicker money, I would say look at your friends and look at skills that they have, and you can leverage, and you can promote different skills of different people, and you can use it to your advantage in order to grow your own gain. And that's how I did it. So from 14, I was literally, like I said, working as a waiter. I sold different products, I did different things, like literally went onto Amazon, went into Chinese websites, buying items, reselling them. These kinds of things, looking on eBay, looking what's trending, these kinds of things. If you get into, even at the time when selfie sticks was a thing, people don't really use that too much anymore, but selfie sticks was a thing, selling selfie sticks online, especially to like vloggers and influencers, and these kinds of things. You've got to look at a skill that you can have and you can leverage, and you'll make a lot of money. But anyways, my name is Christian. I really hope you enjoyed this video.